Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. This is Puppy from server M14, and I wanted to go over real quick how important it is to have resources, especially when you get to early conquests. Legendary, not so much, because legendary season, when you are farming your Azure crystals, it doesn't really take much resources themselves. It's more of just the time needed for them to be farmed. Don't get me wrong, when you do barracks, it does cost quite a bit of resources to upgrade them. But you have plenty of time to naturally farm. Because by the time you get this charged up, you're gonna have the resources to then upgrade it. The really big thing with legendary season is going to be in research. When you get to level 60, these become very, very, very expensive. For immortal, it's mostly wood. Troops, I believe it's mostly stone. Let's see. No, it's mostly iron. So iron and wood are gonna be your biggest. The biggest resource you're gonna have to farm. So there's a few ways to do it. The best way, in my opinion, it is very time consuming at times. It can also be.
Have you ever had a dream
It could be.
What's
the word I'm looking for? Forget the word. I don't know what I'm talking about. Anyways, what you want to do is find a place that has quite a few dead castles, and also if there is a castle that you're not sure if a player is not active or not, even if they're in a protected alliance, what you can do is see we have Baby Scar here. Even the main Scar player, I don't think they're even in an alliance anymore. What you can do is you click on their name, you copy their, or you click on their profile, copy their name, go to alliance, and if you're R5, yes, it takes R5 to do this. You can search for them, and you can see the last time that they logged in. It's been 204 days for this player. Also, before you do start hitting, I would recommend that you go ahead and set up your next reload if there's a few castles nearby. So while that's going, you can then start attacking castles. If you're not sure when you do hit castles if there is enough resources, you can either send the scout option here, or you can just look at their prosperity as well. I would just spend the gold if you can to look. Let's see. Yeah, you send all 4 marches out. Also, when you are farming resources this way, make sure that you have trudge enabled, and also make sure that your field warehouse is also turned on. You will get to a point that you may start having resources that just get spilled out because it's taking up too much room. But you want to, if you can, if it's like food, for example, you can try to use it to train some troops. So we can just get these going. And also another way you can farm resources, if you have enough of the purple gems in the market and you have plenty of scrolls, you can re-roll the market. I've already done it for today. I've been doing it every day for a few days now. Don't use gems for resources, just use your purple essence here. And these are all protected resources that you will have. I would only recommend using the market if you don't have any of these skills here that you need to learn. If they're all maxed out and you literally have nothing else for purple essence, then go ahead and use them. Just for example, to get Bowman HP at level 7, it's going to cost this much resources. It's very expensive. I'm going to just get this going, and I'm going to speed it up because I have...
From the moment I understood the weakness of my flesh,
years of speed ups. The most common method of farming resources is going to be going and farming these nodes here. You would look for the max that you can farm. Now, it does make a difference if you do own the city, but what you can also do is when you do send out the gatherings, and turn this on, because it will take effect as soon as you turn this on and you send the march over to gather on the node. It will keep that stat. It doesn't matter if it runs out in an hour. It will keep the increased speed. There are a few castles that give you resource gathering speed increases. You can also have this turned on. So you would turn this on, then you would go to a level 12 stone gathering, and then you would be able to gather. It'd be a little bit quicker. Another method I'd do, if you have a production speed or resources option for your castle, or even the aura decoration here, you can turn that on. And when you send out your marches, you can turn on all these here, including the gold, so that when you are out farming and you're leaving your castle AFK, you'll get the most out of the passive resources. The only thing that you want to do is these can fill up pretty quickly. I want to say in about maybe go to bed when you get your Azure crystals going. When you go to bed and wake up, make sure you check these. Sometimes these can cap out, especially if they're maxed out. Also, if you're really hurting for resources, you can get the resource chests, which are right here. You can get them mostly from the monthly events. I believe it costs, can't remember off the top of my head, you get up to 99 of these per event. And if you have nothing else to buy, if you have enough where you already got your dust and you've gotten your tokens of light, then you can use it for the resources. Another pretty big method you can use when you are farming your resources is also the wishing fountain here. The higher your level, the better off you will be. And also when you are doing the wishing fountain, you want to have the gift of pity turned on. This will increase the crit rate of the praying by 5%. So if you are maxed out, you can get up to 5 million resources per hit. Honestly, for the gem price, maybe 2, 3, 4k gems daily, you can get quite a bit of resources. I think it's worth it. You also get these too when you fully max it out. I do highly recommend this as well for resource gathering. Also, a few other notes for your talents is when you are farming, gathering, make sure big yields is turned on, especially if you're away. That is very important. It's 10% increase in your resource production. Depending on what you are farming, I have 2 different trees here. I have one for wheat, for food, and for wood. I have another for stone and for iron. You want to make sure these are also turned on and use them when you can, especially on frost when gathering is a little bit slower. Another big one is fully loaded. This gives you a 100% increase in your troop load. Tactical retreat can also be very useful if you are in a very PvP heavy zone but you're trying to gather resources. I'm actually going to make a quick change here because for the one that I have for stone and for iron, I need to set up time to work and also increase resource production. I really don't need the building upgrades up speed anymore because I have years of speed ups. So I'm going to refresh this real quick. You can also consider doing divine protection when gathering. 100% of your resource we protect and cannot be looted. That's a pretty good one too. I would also recommend if you have the recruit talents turned on, you might as well synergize it with the well fed as well, because this will decrease the resources used and this will increase the training speed as well. Alright, now that I have this set up, you want to have big yields and time to work together, especially when you're offline. But that's all I want to go over. I just want to make sure you guys know how to farm resources properly. If there is a dead castle that, in your opinion, that if it really is a dead castle, just make sure that you get an R5 to look at the last time they logged in. Even if they're in a Protect Alliance, if you get the OK go, then you can go ahead and hit them, especially if you're a very active, very competitive player. You're going to need the resources. If the farm has not logged in, and in my opinion, I think 90 days is pretty reasonable, then you can go ahead and just hit them, and I think it's fine. But I hope you guys found this information helpful. If so, then leave a like on the video, subscribe. If you guys have any questions, concerns, comments, any video suggestions, please let me know. I really appreciate you guys. Hope you have a wonderful day.